Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the zodiac sign Virgo and life. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the sun, moon, and ascendant. Anyway, well, as far as Virgo goes with their life, first thing, Virgo may spend a lot of their life working laboriously. Virgo just is enamored with being productive and giving service to others, and they will often go out of their way to help somebody. They're very helpful. It could be a problem solving situation. I can remember working at a Kmart one time, and I had a Virgo rising friend. One time we had some issue with the pallet jack, and there was something obstructing it from moving. And while the other me and another worker, I think it was, were just didn't really do much. Weren't going to do much about it. We were just kind of let it go, or just maybe try to drive it without while having the thing that was impeding it from moving, 100%. The Virgo rising friend of mine actually he actually got down on his hands and knees and got on the floor, and he's like, trying to get, close to where, the wheel was and looking to see what was actually holding this up. So that's really kind of epitomizes the difference between what Virgo will do, in certain things Virgo will do in their life in contrast to others, and they will often go that extra mile to help somebody out. And they, another thing though, is that Virgo may be dominated by incessant worrying during their life. Virgos could often be hypochondriacs, or I don't know, germophobic might not be the word. That's the proper word now, but whatever that is now, they will be the ones that may take a lot of extra health precautions, like the person that grabs a paper towel and then grabs the bathroom door handle on it as far in a public restroom. They are, I mean, extra sanitizers, keeping hand sanitizers with them wherever they go. Now that is not necessarily bad considering the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic that's currently going on, but you understand basically what I'm saying. And the Virgos, one thing they have to, do certain things, whatever it might be, to calm their nerves. I know that tryptophan, I think, is in Turkey. I think that kind of relaxes people, and whatever it might be. I don't know. Virgos, many may need like a sedative or something, that if there's some kind of nutrient or is like a vitamin or something that could be taken. That is something they may want to consider, something to help alleviate the nerves and help them calm themselves down a little bit. And the thing is, Virgos may often succumb in their life to some kind of psychosomatic disorder where the worrying and thinking about something may actually exacerbate a physical debilitation or condition. Now, another thing too, Virgo, and sadly, in one's life, they may come and go in another person's life. They are ruled by Mercury. Of course, Mercury can be associated with the wind. Now, there are various reasons why Virgo may come and go in others' lives. Sometimes it's simply because they have a very scrupulous nature, and a Virgo even if they have some slight hint or vague idea or conception of a negative character of somebody, they may leave that person in a heartbeat because they don't want that person to rub off on him or her, because Virgo's often about very proper, good behavior. And but another thing, sadly, is that Virgo also may come and go in one's life. Not always because they made a decision to leave, but there was some, whatever it was, the universe plan, or whatever you want to call it. Their time was to go, and they may. I've seen a lot of people, that have, Virgo strong in their chart. They often leave earlier through death, sadly. And you take examples. I mean, there's innumerable examples. You have Amy Winehouse, that was a Virgo sun in Gemini rising. Patrick Swayze died of pancreatic cancer. Pancreas is associated with with Virgo. Kurt Cobain, another Virgo rising person, passed away um, quicker than he should have. It was suicide. He had a sun in Pisces, and Pisces is the sign sadly associated with suicide. Uh, Another thing too, you look at Kobe Bryant had that helicopter crash, and he was either a Leo or Virgo sun, depending on time of birth. But I'm thinking he was likely a Virgo sun, and even if he had his sun in Leo, he was still on the cusp of Virgo. And another another person, Steve Jobs, another Virgo rising, I think he had succumbed to some pancreatic cancer, and he was a Virgo ascendant, and the pancreas again can be a debilitation associated with the zodiac sign Virgo. The thing too, and another interesting example, and a very sad one and horrific one, was someone named Jessica Sacco. I don't know if I'm saying her last name right. She was a Virgo sun, and she was involved in an infamous murder case. She was on Investigation Discovery episode. I forgot the name of the show she was on, but she had her body basically dismembered, and Virgo is the sign associated with dissection. At the time of her death, she had transit Mars, at least in a loose conjunction to her natal sun, and Mars can be about incisions and cuts. Virgo again can be about dissection, and sadly that is what happened to her. She had her body dismembered at that time. And another reason why Virgo may come and go in other person's life, keep in mind, even though Virgo, it can be very good at dissecting things and diagnosing, analyzing things, and even people at times. And in a lot of cases, though, keep in mind, I mean, not in this, well, in every case in a solar or natal chart, the zodiac sign Pisces will fall on the 7th house cusp. And see, Virgo may have a tendency, sadly, in a lot of instances, to attract the unsavory types, the unscrupulous, the ones that are lethargic or indolent, that people that might be involved in some kind of drugs or alcohol, deceptive people. Pisces is also the sign associated with imprisonment. It could be people that have had past criminal records, and these and Virgo really needs to be careful. They might have difficulty deciphering intentions and agendas of other people, because the zodiac sign Pisces again is going to fall on the 7th house cusp in a solar or natal chart for Virgo, and the 7th house is the house of relationships and others in general. Now, on a positive end though, Virgo may often live very healthy, and they are often enamored with physical fitness, exercise, and they can encourage and inspire others to do so in the process. I would say of all the zodiac signs, there's probably more vegans and vegetarians that are Virgo, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people than any of the other signs on average, because Virgo is synonymous with just being healthy. And you could take like an example, like Lou Ferrigno is a Virgo rising, and many of you may have heard of him. He was a prolific weightlifter. I'm sure he may still work out vigorously, and he's a Virgo rising person. It wouldn't surprise me if he sticks to some kind of very regimented diet at this time in his life. I don't know that for a fact, but it wouldn't shock me if he was. You take Dr. Drew Pinsky, a Virgo sun. He lifts weights consistently. He probably adheres to some kind of diet and physical fitness program that's very consistent. And the thing about Virgo, though, during the course of their life, it's not just about being physically fit and enamored with fitness, things that are healthy, but their life, sadly, in some negative manifestations, can be near compulsive, what I would call compulsive complaining, because they can be very judgmental and critical, and it might drive others figuratively crazy. And Virgo has to remember that, to keep in mind during the course of their life, that you can criticize people, but there's ways of doing it constructively and not in a way that might potentially alienate a person. Also, Virgo may live really having abundance of nervous energy, because there's a constant need to be productive. It's different in contrast to Gemini, because Gemini has a lot of nervous energy. They're ruled by Mercury like Virgo, but Gemini is just more general restlessness, and they just get bored very easily. They want to maybe stay busy and do many different things that may be work related. Sometimes it could be just something that's fun, amusing, enjoyable. But Virgo, it's more about dominated by work, and it's trying to stay busy more on a work related level. And as I was talking about before, Virgo may need something to help calm their nerves, like if there's some nutrient or vitamin that can be a supplement, something that they could have that could actually help calm their nerves. And I don't know if there's any evidence, like if anxiety and worrying can detract years from a person's life, but they have to keep that in mind, because Virgo is notorious for worrisome energy, and they have to be very careful, because I'm sure in some cases it can be detrimental to one's life, and it may potentially detract for one's years. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I do strongly believe there can be a connection in some cases. But a Virgo that could control their worrying, better than average, may actually live a very good life, due to the fact that they are often exceptionally healthy. And you might have some Virgos that are downright fanatical in regards to their health. But anyway, and even though that might be a little extreme in some cases, that may be true, though, isolated cases. But anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.